How would you say, like, it's been just like adapting to like life post-COVID and just again?
Yeah, so COVID was a challenge. It was weird.
Did you feel like kind of grateful that, wait a minute, what I do for a living
Yeah.
hasn't really been affected? I mean, maybe the in-person teaching might
Yeah,
be, but trading and even online courses. So
Yeah.
how did you feel like, oh wow?
So when COVID hit, it was like, didn't believe it at first, and then obviously you get locked down, etc., etc. And you kind of think, okay, cool. Like literally the world stopped. You're thinking people can't work. People are like working from home, but realistically, I'm used to like working from home or my office or wherever. And I kind of thought I made the right decision at a young age, sort of investing in the future. In the foreign exchange market, because all we need is a Wi-Fi and a laptop. So when COVID hit, it's like nothing's changed. So it's like we're just doing it. Obviously, lockdown does have an impact because you don't want to be. We always say you don't want to be on your screens 24/7 anyway, which kind of forces you to just look at your screens 24/7 just because, literally because you got nothing else to do, which was good. The markets were moving, so we could make money. So it kind of was a positive thing in a way, even though it was kind of a bit of a downer when you're kind of just stuck in your house, whatever. But from work perspective, it was good. The only negative, really, like you say, was the in-person courses. We couldn't run in-person courses, which, okay, that's not a problem, but that's why you always have an alternative, where we had the online courses. So like online course sales shut up, in-persons dropped, but that's just a part of business. So yeah.
And I think with a lot of people, right, especially when they trade FX, like you said, you got that work-life balance and you got to sometimes stay focused. Would you say, in terms of your friendship group, first of all, are they all like entrepreneurial, would you say, or would some of them you had to maybe drop along the way just to, make sure you're successful? How was it?
So like with my circle of friends now, like we used to have a big friendship group. We've had to drop many out on the way. So like the circle of friends that I've got, majority of them do have that entrepreneurial mindset. Not all of them do, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's some that we still see as family, even though they don't have that mindset, because they can bring other values to the table, where we as just like most of us can just be like business minded, etc., etc. But yeah, so there's like a small circle of us. We're kind of like, don't call ourselves like the winner circle, but it's kind of like a winner circles where we all kind of specialize in different things, and we try and come together to do good together, in a sense. So we're like, this guy will handle like property, for example, or this guy will be the man at sorting out stocks. We have like a crypto expert that will be able to do that. Somebody that can cook, so that's got like a chef business. We've got like people that do gym work, where they just do like personal training, and we just kind of all come together to kind of just help each other grow, in a sense, and we just use our sort of our best like abilities to our best, and then just try and grow as a team. So like we always put money into a pot and then just run with it. So if we have an idea, we say, okay, cool, Kane, you run off with that idea, you handle that, we're here to help, but you hold that and just you handle this section. Shaq, you do this, you handle this section. And yeah, just kind of just work as a team. But as you do say, the circle does get smaller, very small, and you have to cut out a lot of people. As tough as it is, you could be friends with them for like 16 years. Like some I've had long-term friendship with, but they haven't got the right mindset, so you kind of just have to do your own thing. And like I was saying at the start, especially when you're starting out on your grind sort of thing, you kind of have to be selfish, even though you can never be selfish to yourself, because you've got to look after yourself anyway. But you just have to have that tunnel vision and just keep going. But yeah.
As of and also like to add on to that, I feel like just how I see it is, I can keep anyone around me, but as long as they don't interfere with the success, that's like the deciding factor.
Bang on. I think like I was saying, like you just said then, like I'll have some friends that won't interfere with it. They do their own thing. They're still them. They still give you jokes. They still give you banter, and they just break it up from the straight grind, because you do need a kind of a balance in there, just to make sure your sanity is good. But yeah, literally.
Yeah. I wanted to also move on to, I see you shining, jewels. Talk to me about the chain.
Yeah.
When do you get the watch?
Yeah. Watch. Love watches. So like, I've had this piece now probably quite a bit, maybe 18 months, 2 years. Always had watches, always kind of just, if I like a watch, I'll probably just buy it. They hold the value, if not go up in value. And I think,
have you seen this one increase in value?
yeah, so this one is gone up around £1,000. So it's not a lot, but it's still,
and it's still an asset that if worse came to worse, you can sell it
bang on
within a few weeks.
with that. So like, yeah, I've got other watches that have maybe gone up like £3,000-4,000, which is good. And like today's market, you see watches doing like £100,000 within the year, which is like it's just crazy. It is crazy. And I think that's another. I always see it as, I love watches. I go for the look first and then investment second.
Okay.
Which might sound backwards, but it will always work out in your favor because you like the watch, you know you've kind of got an expensive watch on, and you know the value will either hold itself, if not go up. So worst comes to worst, if you want to sell your watch, you think, okay, I want to get a new one. You know you're going to at least get your money back. And then, just get into it. And then jewelry, this piece is in memory of my mom, who I lost now 3 years ago. Unfortunately, she had leukemia and sepsis, who was kind of like my idol. She'll always be my world in a sense. Somebody that I looked up to. She was a mentor as well to me, which I highly respect and whatnot. As I say, she had a tough upbringing, raised us, me and my brothers, up the best that she could, and always thankful for that, and to my dad as well. I think they've come from so my mom's second generation in the country from Jamaica, so my nan was come from Jamaica, then my mom was here, done that. My dad, so I'm half Jamaican, half Moroccan, so then my dad come from Morocco when he was like 21, built his foundations, etc, etc. So I always look up to my parents and always believe that they've carried the flag. So my nan carried the flag here, my dad carried the flag here, or the torch I should say. Then I feel like my mom and my dad have then brought the torch higher, and now, unfortunately, my mom's passed away, but now it's like me and my brother's turn to kind of take the torch even higher, and just to kind of grow her legacy, grow our legacy, and just keep doing the best that we can. And then as we get older, our kids, then the generation after that will just keep flying the flag, and eventually we'll have that sort of generational wealth, which we deserve, and we don't have that sort of white privilege in a sense, where you kind of just have to grind and just have a tunnel vision and just keep going.
Rest in peace for sure. It's good that you even got to do well for your life just before as well.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing for me. When I lost my mum, I think I had my business set up, I was trading, I was helping her out, I was free, and the biggest thing for me is that what trading brings is freedom. Now, when my mum was ill, in and out of hospital, I'm trading, so I've got a lot of free time. So I was able to go to hospital, take her to appointments, do whatever for her in that sense. So I spent a lot of time with her throughout her last period, like a year or so, however long she was ill for. And I think that's massive and will always stick with me in a sense, because if I was like at work, then I'd be like limited to like what I could do, and then I wouldn't have been able to spend like time with her, etc, etc. And then when all is said and done, all you think about is, I wish I spent more time. So like, if you look at a lot of people, like I was watching an interview of Eddie Hearn when he said his dad passed away. Not his dad, sorry, his granddad passed away. He said he was there, he's like, what is life? Like, should I have spent more time with him, etc, etc. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, like I always say, family is everything, and family is a big foundation to where you're going to go next. So you have to do everything to make them proud in a sense.